CherishingFlo fam, welcome back to my channel where we're all about love, positivity, being a girl boss, and everything in that vicinity. In today's video, we are recording. Oh my gosh, I have not recorded in so long. Like, y'all don't know because, because y'all been getting these consistent videos. But the last time I bulk recorded so much I didn't need videos for weeks. I still got videos that are already uploaded on the channel right now that have not come out yet. Let's see. This is the first video I'm recording in this batch. It's April 20th. So whenever you see this video, you'll know how much time had passed. And I haven't recorded even in the past like 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I haven't been recording. Like, I be bulk recording like nobody's business. I'm not going to be able to do as much today only because the fact that I didn't start until late and the sun going to go down. But I've been doing the thing. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how my best friend turned into one of my biggest enemies. This happened when I was in middle school, my 7th grade year. I'm gonna have to change everybody's names. Oh my God, just thinking about this time in my life is crazy. But my closest friends at the time, I went to this really ratchet hot middle school, and I was always popping off at the mouth. I was like a little chihuahua, just always popping off at the mouth. This is a time in my life where I was in choir, and my whole life was pretty much my friends. And my closest friends at that time were 3 girls. We'll call them Annabelle, Patrice, and the person who ended up turning into an enemy, we'll call her Kelly. So we were like 4 girls. Everybody knew we was best friends. We sat together at the lunch table every day. It was just us 4. We was like, all of us was super mad tight. And I loved all of them. Like, when I tell you that all of them were like I really thought them was gonna be my best friends for life. I don't talk to none of them no more. I don't have no bad blood with any of them, but like, I don't talk to none of them. But so basically what happened was they all had classes together that I didn't have with them. Like, we had classes together, all 4 of us, but they had classes together that I didn't have because they had like advanced math and advanced science and all that stuff. I didn't have those classes. The only advanced class I had was advanced English, which was the advanced class that I had with them. And at some point during the semester, like I don't know if this happened first semester, second semester. I really don't remember at what point in the year this happened because this is like so long ago. This was middle school. But we was good and into the school year. And at some point, Kelly started befriending this other girl that as a group we had originally not liked. We didn't bully her or do nothing to her. We just didn't like her because she was really snotty. She was really rude. She always had something smart to say. She would talk about people behind their backs. And she was not bold enough to say nothing to nobody's face, which was my problem because I'm very bold. So we didn't like her as a group. But then at some point, Kelly and this girl became friends. And now, mind you, I didn't actually have a problem with this. I noticed it, and it was kind of like, okay, but whatever, because it wasn't like she had actually done something to any of us. So if you decided you like her, that's your business. I don't really care. But it was changing Kelly's behavior. She was starting to act a little different, a little shady, and she was starting to act a little bit more like the girl that we didn't like. We'll call her Deja. And I don't even really remember her name, but I will call her Deja. And I didn't really notice it as much, but Annabelle and Patrice did. Annabelle and Patrice was not feeling it. Okay, like they was not feeling it. Like, when I tell you that she was starting to piss them off, Annabelle was like my closest friend out of all of them. And Annabelle was very similar to me in the fact that where she said what the freak she had to say. So she was like, I'm getting real sick and tired of Kelly doing da-da-da-da-da-da. And all of these girls is my close friends. So I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, y'all, we should talk about it. Let's sit down as a group. Let's all get together. Let's talk about it. Let's whatever and what have you. So, one day we was at lunch, and the problem is that Patrice and Annabelle was feeling hostile. They was feeling hurt. But we all women and we girls and, whatever. And they was feeling hostile and they was angry about the situation. I hadn't seen the stuff myself. So I felt like because all of them was my friends and I didn't actually have any actual emotion to it, I could have been the mediator. I was like, okay, well, I'll, help get the conversation going. So we go into the bathroom and I tell Kelly, I said, hey, we want to talk to you about something. And then I was explaining, I was talking. I was like, Patrice and Annabelle feel like since you've been talking to Deja, you've been changing up. You've been switching. You've been acting different. They don't appreciate some of this behavior. I was going down the line of stuff that they had said, to me, because we all friends. I'm thinking, they was like, they're hurting. They don't know how to approach you about it without being angry and like going off, because if it was Deja, they could just cuss her out and not be a big deal. But since we all friends, they don't know how to approach you about the stuff that you're doing that's upsetting them. So I'm thinking Kelly's gonna say something, like, oh, I'm not trying to be like her, or I'm thinking, it's gonna be mediated. We gonna talk about it. Everybody gonna be cool by the end of this conversation, bro. So Kelly's like, you guys have been talking about me behind my back or something like that. And they were just like, we are just upset about something that you're doing. And we didn't want to cuss you out off rip. So yeah, it's not like we're gossiping about you, calling you out your name or anything. We're just explaining that you've been acting shady and we're not appreciative. And we're trying to figure out how we going to talk to you about it. So then Kelly's like, friends don't confront friends. And I was like, I remember to this, like, even now when I think about that, because those were her words, friends don't confront their friends. And I was like, well, what the freak do friends do if their friend is upset with it? What do you do? If you don't confront your friend, what do you do? What do you do when your friend has upset you? I feel like if somebody has caused you a problem, friend or not, you should confront the situation. I feel like especially if it's your friend, you should confront them and be like, hey, you did this. And the thing was, I think what it was is that maybe she felt cornered because it was all of us talking to her and she was the person who was the problem. And I think that made her feel attacked, even though the only person who was doing any talking at first was me, because they was mad. So I'm doing the talking and I'm not mad, so I'm just saying stuff. I'm just like, they feel like blah, 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 blah. But she took offense. And she was all like, y'all fake, y'all fake, y'all fake. Okay, I'm a lot of things, but I can be rude, I can be disrespectful, I can be chatty Cathy and all that good stuff, but I'm not fit. I said, I'm not even mad at you. Like that was my issue. It's like, I'm not even mad at you. I'm just telling you what the I'm trying to, mediate the situation. But she got mad anyway. And she storms out the bathroom, and we all still had to go to the same choir class together. But it just so happened that this choir class was the same choir class that we had with Deja. So she goes in there. First thing she do is get the yakety yakking with Deja. Why is it that you are so quick to end your friendship with us and go running off to talk about us with Deja instead of just telling us what you're, like, talking to us? Like, if we're talking to you when we're upset with you, so why are you not doing the same courtesy? Instead, you roll your eyes, cold as fake, walk out the room, and get to chitty-chatting, literally talking bad about us to your new little friend that already we don't get along with that well. So I'm not saying anything. I'm chilling. I'm mad, but it's like I'm not mad. Like I'm good, because I'm thinking like it's not a big deal. Nobody's really that mad. It's not gonna become a situation. Boy, was I wrong, because it immediately became the biggest situation between us in the whole my biggest situation of the whole school year. It becomes us versus her and Deja little flunky that she had with her, because it was Deja. Now, mind you, I remember these people, but I don't really remember these people. I'm pretty sure that now Deja, since we've gotten older, I know who I don't remember her flunky, but I remember Deja, and I'm friends with her on Facebook. She's a good person. She's, grown. We were children back then. We was like 12. What do you do when you're 12? But like now, she's a whole, she married, she got her life, she doing good things, she's beautiful. I have nothing. I think she's great. And I don't know nothing about Kelly now, but but back then, Deja was a problem. They all become a little group, and they like giving us like side eyes, glances. So we giving them side eyes and glances. And then it becomes like this big old thing where we all got beef, basically. Like, where we all just straight up don't like each other, apparently now. Now, I'm going along with this, like, kind of like, I'm just feeding off that negative energy. Like, they acting like they don't like me, they rolling their eyes at me, so I'm doing the same thing. I don't say anything. Like, literally, time moves on, and it just becomes more like little slick shots. Now, I guess more happened between them than happened between me, because really, I wasn't that involved. I just happened to be the person to speak first. Oh, whole thing that I missed. Around this time, Kelly started dating this guy, and they felt like he also took a part in her treating them differently. Like, I guess she got a boyfriend and she started acting funny towards them. Like, that was a part of it too. I don't really think that I ever thought that he had anything to do with anything. He just so happened to be her boyfriend at the time. But I think they felt like, you know, he was switching up or whatever. And it was when she started dating him was when they said that she started to begin to act funny. I noticed some weirdness, but I didn't think she had just completely changed. But, you know, they said it, and everything they said, I couldn't deny it because I had seen it. You know, I'm not observant. So unless you do something directly to me, if you start changing, I'm probably not going to notice it. One day I walk into the choir room and they're like, oh, we're going to have like a little class meeting. And I was like, a class meeting? They're like, we're going to have a little class meeting. And it was like, I guess somebody had went to, it might have been us. Somebody had went to the choir, our choir teacher. And let me tell y'all something. Our choir teacher at that middle school, at Ed White Middle School, was the bomb. Best choir teacher in the whole world. You argue if you want to. Argue with your mama, not me. The best choir teacher in the whole world. Literally, and our choir was the bomb diggity. I'm not going... We was people was winning awards in our choir. We were 12 years old. We was getting things like, I love that choir. That's like my favorite. That's like one of my favorite classes I've ever had in any of my schooling. I guess he saw, because all of us was such good friends, we went into this little situation, and there was like, it was like a courtroom type situation. So it was like her and them and then us and the plaintiff, and then she had her little friends, and it was just us three basically. And we was all chilling. And mind you, I was the type of person who in middle school, I had them as my friends, but I ain't really mess with nobody else in the school. Anybody, even people who I spoke to, I ain't mess with them like that. Like, after we left the class that we happened to talk in, that's it. We ain't talking no more after that. So, it's just us three, and then it's her and like three others. LaDeja, her flunky, and then some other girl who was somehow involved, and I don't even know, she just seemed to always be involved in mess. I think she just liked mess, but she just didn't like the mess to be directed at her. But anyway, so after we're sitting there and everybody's explaining their situation, Kelly's talking about how she felt like we ganged up on her in the bathroom. She felt like we all were against her. You know, we all just turned on her all of a sudden. I started explaining that they felt like, you know, we felt like she had changed. She was acting up, and I was just trying to mediate the situation. I didn't want it to be like friend against friend. They was all arguing with each other. It was starting to become a hostile situation. I loved everybody, so I didn't want it to be that. So that's all that was. And I feel like friends should be able to confront friends. What the stupid logic is that? And I was like, maybe not in a hostile manner. I said, but I didn't think that it was a hostile manner. Even when I look back and think about it, nobody spoke but me. And I wasn't even mad. So I couldn't have been hostile about it because I wasn't even upset. I wasn't even really the one mad at her. Let me just add this in there really quick. I see this while I'm editing. I'm going to just add in the fact that I am aware that at that time it's possible that I could have had an attitude without meaning to, because in middle school I just had a smart mouth and attitude just came at me naturally. So I might have had an attitude even though I wasn't upset. I might have came at her like with a little bit more authority than intended, but I really wasn't mad. So I really didn't think that I had an attitude. But you know, it's possible because back then I always had attitude. So the guy asked, you know, when did this all start? And I'm very blunt, so my mouth just came out when she started dating such and such. And I don't know why this was like a ooh moment, but everybody was like, and I'm like, I wasn't trying to beat all of that. I'm just saying that's when it had started. It gets to the point where one of the girls, the girl who I said likes mess, I don't even know why she was a part of the conversation, but she was all like, Ricky is the leader of their little group and she just kind of runs stuff. And I was like, I don't even know what that had to do with. That's what pissed me off. That's when I started to like, that's when I went from like, I kind of don't care, kind of do care, to just downright mad. Because I'm not the leader of anything. I'll admit that in the group, I was the loud one because I was the one that was always fighting. I was the one that was always arguing with somebody. That was me. I was the outgoing loud one. But I wasn't the leader. I didn't tell nobody what to do. They didn't follow me. None of that. But that's basically what she was trying to say. All of my friends were leaders in their own right. That's why they were my freaking friends. I'm not one of those people who be friends with little followers who follow up behind me and do my little okie doke. No, my friends were just more soft spoken, but they didn't follow me. They, as a matter of fact, in the situation, I was doing what they needed. It wasn't even like, I just wanted to be a mediator of the situation. So when she started saying all that, it started painting me out to the teacher to be like, you know, the aggressive one, the this, that, and the other. And it didn't help that not too long before this, I had gotten into a fight with a girl who everybody thought was really soft-spoken and sweet. And so it really did make me look like an antagonizer, even though I'm not. And the girl who I got into it with, it wasn't my fault. anyway, that's beside the point. So it was like, that's what the picture she was painting. And so I started to get pissed off, and I was just like, first of all, I'm not no freaking leader. And what pissed me off even further was that Kelly was agreeing with her. Kelly was like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, and then I said, and I don't remember if I said this to her in that moment or if I said it later, which kind of like really kind of put an end to our friendship, is I was basically just like, if anybody's a follower, you're the follower, because you were friends with us, going along with everything we said. When we said we didn't like Deja, you said you didn't like Deja too, but then all of a sudden you okie doke with Deja, and now you become little mini Deja. And we're the follower. Like, none of us act like each other. None of us copies each other. None of us just goes along with what the other person says. We all have our own individual opinions. And we even let you, when you were being friends with Deja, I had no problem with you having your individual opinion. But now, Deja say something, here you are being little mini Deja and following around these little girls, and I ain't never tried to run you. I ain't never told you what to do. I ain't never acted like that, and you're trying to act like I just be trying to have followers behind me. Like, and it painted me out to be the source of the problem, and I ain't even had nothing to do with the problem. Y'all, I was so mad by the end of the, like, it was, the court thing was supposed to be to help the situation so there was no drama, but after that, I literally could not stand her. After that situation, because the whole time I'm thinking like she's mad at us, but I'm not thinking, it's like something that we're never going to be friends again. But after this courtroom situation, and I started hearing all this stuff, like the stuff that she was saying and she was thinking, and in my mind I was like, when did all of this come about? Like all this hidden all this hidden emotion that came out of nowhere as far as I was concerned. Now, I don't know what was discussed amongst the three of them. Like I said, they all of them had most of their classes together, and I only had like a couple classes with all of them. So they were kind of all like, they were together hanging out a lot without me. And so I know there was stuff that happened a whole lot without me. But I still don't know where all of the Ricky is the little group leader, and Ricky kind of, if Ricky is mad, then everybody's mad, and all this bull crap that came out, and that I wasn't even mad. Like, it was so stupid. And then after that, I decided, even when they started being kind of cool with her towards the end of the school year, I was done. Like, I was like, nah, fam, through. Like, I'm not talking to you no more. I don't want to hear your voice no more. You're nobody to me. We're not friends. And all the little cronies that you now falling all up under and all behind that done pulled you into their little fake behind group, I don't F with none of them neither. I never F'd with Deja, but I ain't care nothing about them other two. But after that, I ain't like them two either. Like, I was holding grudges the rest of the school year. I was like, all of y'all got me bent. I was mad for multiple reasons, because one, I was painted as the aggressor. And all I wanted to do was make us all be friends again. That was it. And two, and I didn't feel like in that situation, I didn't feel like anybody was an aggressor. And I really didn't feel like it was anybody's fault either. I didn't feel like Kelly, I did anything terrible. I thought, sometimes you hang around somebody and their personality rubs off on you. And I thought that's all that had happened. And I was like, you're doing this and you're doing that. And you know that we don't like that girl in the first place. So, and that's all. Like, just addressing the situation. I didn't think it was going to become all that it became. And then, eventually, Annabelle and Patrice was over it, and I was over it, but I wasn't over it. Like, I was not over it for a long time. Like, after that, anybody who said the name Kelly around me, I'm sorry, who's that? What? Who now? Kelly what? Kelly who? That little fake behind her who went over there to be friends with what? But to end all of this, though, this is how 7th grade year ended. 7th grade year ended, and I still didn't like Kelly. I think at some point we had squashed the beef, but I still didn't like her. Like, even when we did, we tried to talk, I did not like her for the rest of the freaking year. And next year I went to another school. Freshman year in high school, we went to the same school again. And me and Kelly were in the same history class. And this is when I had grown up a little bit. Not really that much, to be honest. But I had grown up a little bit, and I had already let that go. I had forgotten about it. I had remembered all the good times, because Kelly, Patrice, and Annabelle, we were all really good friends. And that is like, I haven't really had another group like that since then. And that's not true. I have had a group like that since then, but nothing like what it was then, because we were so innocent back then. Like, everything that you did argue over was low-key kind of stupid, because when I think about even the arguments we got into, it was really kind of stupid. And we ended up sitting next to each other in our history class, and we got to talking. We never actually talked about the situation. We just got to talking in general. and it was as if it never happened. We was talking, we was laughing, we was joking, everything was all good, blase, blase, blase. So I say all that to say that even though she was my best friend and she did become my enemy for a little while, I still ended up burying the hatchet and I ended up loving her, because at the end of the day, I still feel like and felt like she wasn't a bad person and she was really good to her. She had a really good heart. And I feel like it was probably a lot of misunderstandings. And we never talked about it, so I really don't know for sure to this day what the freak was going on in her head when she let them say all that foolishness. But I'm pretty sure it was just a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of stuff that she thought that I felt, or stuff that she had maybe heard, maybe stuff that Patrice and Annabelle had said that she thought was coming from me, or that she thought I also felt, that kind of geared all of it. But I don't really know. But yeah, that was pretty much the story of how that happened. And to this, even now, like, I don't talk to Patrice. Me and Patrice have some mutual friends. So I see her sometimes, like, never actually even in person, but I see her in pictures hanging out with people that I hang out with. But, like, we don't ever see each other. And I never see Kelly either. I don't even know if she still lives in our hometown, but I never see Kelly either. I don't ever even hear from Kelly. I don't follow her on no social medias. I don't even know if she has social medias. I honestly don't know anything about her. Me and Annabelle still follow each other on all social medias, because like I said, of all of them, Annabelle was the one I had known since childhood. Like, I had known her since I was like a toddler. And she was one of my best friends for years, whom I loved dearly. And then we just kind of drifted apart or whatever. So, but we're still cool on all social medias, and I still love her to bits and pieces. To be honest, if she wanted something from me, if she needed me, I would still run to her to this day, even though we haven't talked since in like dang near 10 years. But I would still come running. I really would, because I loved her that much. But anyway, that's not the point. That's neither here nor there. That's pretty much the story of how my best friend became my enemy. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to this point in the video, then I don't know, leave this emoji in the oh Lord, don't look at my nails, in the comment section down below. If you guys are interested in subscribing to my Patreon, where I do reactions to animes and stuff like that, then go ahead and do that. Subscribe to my Patreon, you guys. And I really appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten so far. You guys are the bomb diggity. And yeah, I love you guys ever so much. You know, follow me on all my social medias, CherishingFlo _ on Instagram, CherishingFlo on everything else, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, all of that good stuff, and TikTok. I'm on TikTok too. I'm, not as active as I could be, but I'm gonna get active on there. Just, give me some time. And yeah, so follow me on everything, you guys. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.